Welcome to another episode of the FuelHer Energy podcast, where we share the inspiring yet untold stories of women in energy and the wider business field. I'm your host, Suzie McCalman. If you're now following me and being introduced to me, I want to implore you to follow me on all of my social platforms at jamicia.gy or Jamicia McCalman. This production, of course, would not be possible without the kind support and contribution of so many businesses who see the need to invest in women and young girls. That includes our community sponsor, ExxonMobil Guyana, Anson McCall Limited and their Always brand, as well as Always Foam, Praetorian Security, Inc., Morgan's Investment, Inc., AX's Investment and Consultancy, and Global Healthcare Supplies. And I know you might be wondering, how can I contribute to this platform? It's pretty simple. You can do that by liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and of course, I always say this, do not keep the nuggets and the knowledge that you receive from this platform to yourself. Share it to your platform in your circle, and let's get the word out. Now, the question that's always asked, who will be here in this little, I want to say purple chair, lavender chair, on the FuelHer Energy podcast. And this week, I count it a blessing to chat with this, I want to say, young woman. She has contributed to significantly to the lives of thousands of women and children across Guyana. She is none other than the Community Relations Manager at ExxonMobil Guyana, Suzie DeAbreu.
I am an industrial hygienist at ExxonMobil Guyana. I focus on employee health and well-being and develop programs that protect my colleagues. I am one of 1,400 women employed in Guyana's oil and gas industry.
As a local content analyst at ExxonMobil Guyana, I work directly with the local business community. I focus on the numbers, helping Guyana's economy and people benefit from oil and gas. This is what's possible.
Learn more about Rochelle and Ashley's stories and about ExxonMobil's commitment to empowering women in the workplace at www.exxonmobil.com/what-is-possible.
Suzie, welcome to the FuelHer Energy podcast. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me here. It's an honor to be here with you, Jamicia.
No, it's truly, I said it in our introduction, it's truly a pleasure to chat with you. You are the driving force behind so much change and such impact at ExxonMobil Guyana, and persons don't often get to see the face behind it all. So I want to start with Suzie. Who is Suzie DeAbreu aside from the Community Relations Manager?
I'm a mom of 2 boys.
You're a boy mom.
Yes, I'm a boy mom, very active. I think I'm a fun person. I think at borderline between introvert and extrovert, but people tell me they don't see that. So, and I'm very passionate about my job at ExxonMobil Guyana because, I get to be a lot with helping and developing youth and women, which is really a passion for me, especially where the youth is concerned.
Tell us a little bit about what fueled that passion that you have in terms of the work that you do there at ExxonMobil Guyana.
So I can go back a little bit. I first was the office manager when we first started out, and we were looking for a community relations advisor. And we did several interviews, and the public and government affairs manager at the time said, we can't find the right candidates. And I said, don't worry, we're gonna send out for some more applications, not to worry, we'll advertise. And she was like, why would you not do this job? Because, you can give back to your country and help. And I was like, okay, I'll think about it. And that was the determining factor of me being able to give back, and we started out being with the focus areas of youth, women, and community development. And I think I gravitated more to empowering women and also to develop youth.
Why was it so important for you to focus in those two specific areas?
Because at that time, before we found oil, I always find that youth, they are the future of Guyana. And I'm a Guyanese, and who doesn't love Guyana? So in that sense, I gravitated to youth. I'm a mother of two. I've, raised my kids, taught them right from wrong. Education is important. And so I wanted to give back in that space. And, we focus from ExxonMobil Guyana a lot of underserved kids through underserved communities. And then also women empowerment. It's important for women to have a say. The oil and gas industry is male dominated. So it's very important that we as women and as Guyanese women can stand up and have a place, have a seat at that table.
I absolutely agree. And let's zoom in a little bit up on Suzie before ExxonMobil Guyana. Even before, I think we always knew that Guyana had oil, but it's only recently, over the last, 2 decades or so, the industry, their work that started to be implemented to truly develop the industry. But where did you ever imagine yourself functioning in such a position and making the impact that you are today?
So prior to my career with ExxonMobil, back then it was Esso Standard Oil, because that's where I started out my career with ExxonMobil. I used to work with OMI Gold Mines, and prior to that was Golden Star, and I was always in the natural resources field. And I'm proud to say that, at OMI, I was there when we first discovered when we produced the first bar of gold. So, and then when this opportunity came for me to work with ExxonMobil, at the time when we started out, in 2013, ExxonMobil upstream made a presence here in Guyana and decided that they were going to drill the first well. So we weren't sure if it was going to be a success, but I used to tell my boss back then, don't worry, I was there for the first gold bar. I'm going to be here for the first oil drum. So I think it's just an honor to be in this natural resource industry in the oil and gas sector. So
amazing. Now, you guys are celebrating 10 years in regards to investing, as you said, in women, girls, youths, sports, STEM, having spent over $8 billion towards those different areas. I guess, what's next? Not just for ExxonMobil Guyana, but for Suzie.
So ExxonMobil is it's a global company, and there's so many opportunities. Right now, I'm in the Public and Government Affairs Department, and I lead the Community Relations team. So that team is the one that ensure the contributions and the sponsorships and also the community stakeholder engagements that we have in the communities throughout the country. So ExxonMobil being such a global company, I can, continue my career in the finance department or in the human resources department or the production department. So I'm not sure what's next in my career. So we just have to wait to see. But as of now, I'll continue to be a part of this team where we store the community investments for Guyana.
I want to go back a little bit to what you said earlier in terms of the industry. For a really long time, it has been male dominated. How important it is for women to take up space, not just in business, but the oil and gas industry?
I think that's very important, especially for the young women in Guyana. I've been to some of the events that we sponsor and we support, and young girls come up to me and ask me, how is it that I manage in such an industry like this? And part of it, I think personally for me, Suzie, is because I was the first employee for ExxonMobil Guyana. So everybody came and met me. So I think that made a difference for me personally. But I think it's so important, and ExxonMobil Guyana and ExxonMobil on the whole shows that, because we have women in our leadership team. And we also have quite a bit of women in our extended leadership team. So it shows, that we support where it's important for women to be in a leadership role.
Suzie, I want to say that I'm inspired, and I hope that other women, by extension, are inspired by you. What fuels Suzie to keep going? I mean, you have spent over 25 years in this, 25 years in this field. What has fueled you, and what continues to fuel you?
Well, it's 25 years associated with ExxonMobil, because I started out my career in downstream. I think, one, I'm told that I'm a perfectionist. So I think the development of the young people, because like you said, 25 years in this career with ExxonMobil, I just enjoy seeing the young people that come now and join our company, just for them to have a fulfilling career like I had, or I have. So the knowledge, we talk about sharing the knowledge. I like to share the knowledge that I've gained and what I've learned with the young people, whether it be women or with guys. I just love that. That is something that fuels me, that I can share what I know and what I've learned.
Oftentimes, I feel like women, sometimes they have to choose mom or career. And again, we've listened to your contribution and your longevity in this industry. How have you been able to balance being the working mom?
So my work-life balance, I have worked hard at it. The first thing I think that was important for my kids was routine. I had to put them in a routine. And as a mom, when I became a mother the first time, I believed in that. I believed in putting your children in a routine. So before ExxonMobil made a presence in 2013, I used to work from my house. I was in country contact from 2008. So I was able to take my kids to school, pick them up and take them to squash and take them to play football. And then as the team came down at the end of 2013, I had to sit my kids down and explain to them that mommy's going to go back out to work. So, you need to do your homework. So by the time I come home, it's just for me to check. And being constant. I think constant is very important. Always is like repetitive. So, and I'd say, I'm proud to say it worked for me. My eldest son is in college and my second son is writing his A-levels actually this week. So I think it worked. But I remember at the beginning, it was such a busy time, and being at dinner, which is very important for me. I think we must all have a meal together, even if it's one. So dinner was the best. And I remember my kids saying, Mom, you can't have your gadget, because I would have my phone. So it was the same thing I used to tell them, you cannot have your iPad at the dinner table. So they put that back on me. Mom, you can't have your phone. So I believe in also being there, being present. And I have built this thing that when I'm at home, I'm at home. And when I'm at work, I'm at work. I try not to work on the weekends, but my job takes us out for events and into the communities on the weekends. So I still work on that work-life balance, but I don't think I'm doing a bad job.
So what would you say to the moms out there who might be struggling in that area?
First, I think, one, it's routine. I believe in that. I believe, because we all have a routine. We wake up every morning, we have a shower, we have breakfast, we know we have to go to work, we know we have to go to school. So I think that's important. And then also being present, because you have to put in your work, your professional life, but then you have to remember your family life. But you have to decide that, as in what it is that you will do and where you cut off. And at the end of the day, and I tell the young people that I work with now, the work will be there tomorrow. I said, and that's just, you got to prioritize. So if you have a deadline, you have to work towards that. But at the end of the day, you have to remember that you have a family, especially if you have kids, or you have a husband, you have to go back home to them. So, but I think my first thing is routine, because I feel like once you put a routine in, it's constant.
Suzie, this is probably my final question. What do you want your legacy to be?
I think I want my legacy to be that, I've made a difference, or I've helped made a difference in people's lives here in Guyana, whether it be the youth or the women or the environment, whatever it is, that I've helped to make a difference.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I want to say you are making a difference, and you have made a difference in so many lives in so many different areas, and I want to wish you strength as you continue to operate in this space. And on behalf of all the women and children and boys and girls that you've contributed to, we want to say thank you. So congratulations on the work that you've done and the work that you will continue to do.
Thank you. It was lovely being here.
You heard it there from Suzie DeAbreu, Community Relations Manager at ExxonMobil Guyana. And to the young women, to the mommies who have tuned into this episode, I trust that you are inspired and you are motivated, and that you are your energy and your passion for whatever it is that you do, that it has been fueled. I am Jamisi McCallum, saying thank you so much for joining us in this episode of the FuelHer Energy podcast. Bye-bye and take care.
Multiple FPSOs, drill ships, and support vessels. And this is just the beginning. Life offshore has become a reality for many Guyanese in the oil and gas industry. But in the past, we had to travel abroad to complete the necessary offshore survival training. Now, the training is available right here in Georgetown. I'm getting the skills I need and building the career I've always wanted. I'm Max, and this is what's possible.
Learn more about Max's story and how ExxonMobil's investments are benefiting thousands of Guyanese like him at www.exxonmobil.com/what is possible.